now that the usual daily, I'm very tired of this goddamn new technology, AI, old man yells at cloud video is done, let's talk about MAGA getting mad at MAGA. And, well, not really MAGA getting mad at MAGA, it's MAGA getting mad at America First. I think that is what it actually is, technically, if I'm not, like, lying to you. So there's a few familiar faces in here. One of them's Gavin McInnes, the guy who made the Proud Boys. So, you know, fashy. But the other one that I really want to focus on is actually a guy who used to work for InfoWars under Alex Jones. So that's going to be fun. But first, let's go ahead and get into the fan art section because, of course, we are running the costume contest right now. So, of course, Living Thrash Can said, I don't think this outfit is good as the rest, but it doesn't hurt to try, right? So we have just a very thigh-y sexy Suris. And you know what? You may not think that it's good compared to the other ones that have been submitted, but it is still another submission, and your artwork is still fucking great and appreciated. That said, as always, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. That said, let's go ahead and get right into the actual episode. This is from the Walk Away campaign. And the Walk Away campaign is hosting a debate between lots of people, which is actually how I met Ocean and also Vice Rhino. So I've been on one of these just online. All right, let's go ahead and see what the hell is going on here. Okay.
A major issue for many Trump voters was de-weaponization of our three-letter agencies. Immediately upon taking office, Trump brought in Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino to head up the DOJ and FBI. Kash and Dan had for years said that the FBI needed to be dismantled and reformed.
The FBI's footprint has gotten so freaking big. And the biggest problem the FBI has come out of its intel shops. I'd break that component out of it. I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building.
As a museum of the deep state. My guy, take the tinfoil hat off and snort less cocaine in the bathroom, please.
And send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops.
We're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice.
However, Kash and Dan ended up giving promotions to some in the FBI who orchestrated the targeting of innocent people for January 6th. Critics of Pam Bondi's have pointed out that no meaningful arrests have taken place of any deep state actors connected to the witch hunt against President Trump, against any Epstein perpetrators, or any of those connected with January 6th.
Somebody says, hey, could you give me this link in my DMs? I mean, I can just throw the link at you here and you can copy paste. That way anybody who wants it can have it.
One of the DOJ and FBI's first moves, infamously, was to invite social media influencers to the White House and present them with binders labeled the Epstein Files Phase 1, which contained no new information about the Epstein case that wasn't publicly known for years. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and Pam Bondi did a complete about-face on Epstein, stating that he definitely did kill himself and that there are no known perpetrators and participating...
Man, the camera keeps going over to Gavin. It's just like, hey.
That he definitely did kill himself and that there are no known perpetrators.
Just like, look at this man. Look at this man. As of right now, he's not having a good time. He's just not having a good time at all. Even in the slightest. And it's really funny. Maybe it shouldn't be anywhere near as funny to me as it is, but I'm here for it. I'm here for Gavin McInnes doesn't know why he's here.
And participating in the abrupt narrative shift that it is now time to move on from Epstein.
And this is something Donald Trump has talked about. The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
I remember when it became there was no client list after that.
That's been a directive by President Trump.
Everything's going to come out to the public. The public has a right to know. Americans have a right to know. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information.
So he only trafficked women to himself, except for all the people he invited onto the island for massages, except for all of the information that we've gotten from the public Epstein files that have shown that he trafficked them to people like Donald J. Trump, who you legally can call a rapist, by the way. That's really funny.
None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right.
Okay, I swear I've seen this Fox News looking lady before. Who is she? I do not recognize who she is.
To their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
So the two of them, they came on, and I don't know if you remember the interview, and they said,
I'll never forget it.
Yeah, and they said he definitely killed himself. We can't tell you how we know that. Trust us. If you saw the evidence that we saw, then you would also come to the same conclusion. And people are like, oh, well, they said it, and that's it. And I said to myself, hold on a minute. I'm a lawyer here, okay? So you've just told us that you have actually cleared every potential suspect. You have the exonerating evidence that says that nobody's guilty. Now, if you were telling us we have a suspect, we can't tell you why, we're building a case, I would say, okay, let's wait and let's see what happens. But you just told us that there's no case. So why can't we all know why you're so convinced?
Dan Bongino quit the FBI after less than a year and immediately went on the attack against any conservative who criticized him for inaction in the FBI, including blocking countless followers who expressed their disappointment with him.
So, in essence, the fight that we are going to be witnessing is going to be a fight between people who call themselves America First and therefore are not MAGA, so they will be Republicans against Trump, calling him a pedophile, I guess, and then the MAGA ones that are okay with diddling kids. They'll pretend the position is something different, but I promise you that is exactly what it is.
Many on the pro-MAGA side have praised Cash and Dan and Pam for their performance and attacked people who criticized them. So given that so many people fought for Trump to get in, to fight weaponization, to give people transparency about government corruption and cover-ups, why are the people who are demanding these things now being labeled panicans, doomers, black pillars, and traitors?
I feel like the Epstein debate has already been totally played out and had out, and everybody's kind of reached their conclusions. I don't really know how much wiggle room there is for people on that or convincing there will be. And I think it just boils down to this. Do you believe Epstein killed himself in that prison cell? No. And do you think that Jeffrey Epstein was just some wholesome guy that liked having pizza parties with grape soda and a beef jerky enthusiast? You either believe that stuff or you don't. I don't really think there's any much more room for debate. Now, as far as the people that Trump brought in, that they also seem to think that there was some there. I mean, Pam Bondi's statements speak for themselves, and she said many of other things as well about the Epstein client list. And now all of a sudden we're told that none of it exists. It's just Jeffrey Epstein. He just happened to become a teacher's aide and then a billionaire, and then he owns these islands. He's got all these security deals. He's got access. Yeah,
he just happened to be connected to all of the most powerful people in the entire world. And Elon Musk just happened to really want to be invited to the island, and then he was, not, because he was too fucking weird. How does the guy who makes fuckable AI robot Grok too weird for the child diddling party? Fucking hell.
For the top people in the world, but there's just no there. He just happened to like little kids. So you either believe that or you don't.
Well, and it also required an act of fucking Congress to get the disclosures that were promised by Trump on the campaign trail. And by the way, that is the primary reason that they're going guns blazing after Thomas Massie, is because he was responsible for passing that bill along with Ro Khanna. That is the reason that the Epstein financier class is funneling $25 million to try and primary him, which will make it the most expensive primary in GOP history in the House.
But the point of this segment and the point of the question is that I think that despite how anybody feels, it's weird. I think the handling of Epstein by this administration is weird. And it seems like to simply acknowledge that it's weird is getting people labeled, panicans, and people are now suddenly going along with this whole, shut up, move on, stop talking about it. That's not really what people were saying.
Brandon, a few things. Owen, there's more to discuss than just saying you either believe what I believe.
Sylvie says, fuckable despite there not being a hyper-realistic sex bot released yet to the public. You know something we don't, Suris? Sylvie, it's like role-playing. That's all I'll say.
Which is what you're saying. You must believe that Jeffrey Epstein was raping little kids and that the code words are grape soda, beef jerky, pizza. And if you don't believe that, then you believe that Epstein's a wholesome guy. I think that's not how you really do evidence, and that's not how you take it to
hold on a
court.
second. So, but we're not denying. No, wait. We're not denying that Epstein was a pedophile, right?
That's not how you do that.
But wait. But are you denying that he was a pedophile? Hold on. What? Why is that not the ground we can agree on commonly?
Hold on. We're not denying he was a pedophile, right?
I haven't seen evidence of prepubescent.
You just said.
He is banging mine.
You said there's no nuance.
I've never seen evidence of that. They've all been post-pubescent.
So now Epstein is not a pedophile?
I don't think so. No.
Was he? Do you think he was an asset for intelligence?
There's 32 states that have the age of consent at 16 years old. By the way, Owen.
This is amazing. See, actually, this is a very pivotal moment. This is where MAGA is out. This is where MAGA.
No, hold on. You don't get this.
So I say, have at it. Defend Epstein. The stage is yours. The floor is yours. The floor is yours.
Do you know why you unfollowed me? Because I corrected you and run facts about Epstein, and you got upset.
No, actually, you unfollowed me because you tried to blackmail me.
No.
Yeah, you tried to blackmail me, Linda.
Oh my God, there is so much bad blood here. The fact that they managed to get these people into an actual room together to spend any amount of time is beyond me. Holy fucking shit.
Blackmail you after.
Yeah, you did. You tried to blackmail me.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah, I tried to blackmail you after.
That's right.
No.
Wait, I tried to blackmail you after? Wait, hold on. So we're not denying the blackmail part? Okay, at least it's not the blackmail that people like Elon Musk are afraid of. Man, that joke sounds horrible without any context. I will not give you context, though.
Wait, are you admitting you blackmailed her?
Yeah, she did.
Absolutely, I am. You think Mossad is bad? I'm fucking worst. Owen.
What? What? You think Mossad is bad? I'm fucking worse? Ma'am, you are the epitome of the meme. She's hysterical. Put her down.
Owen, guess what? I corrected you one time and I said you got the dates wrong. And what did you do?
On what?
You're protecting pedophiles.
On what?
I corrected you.
What
on some wrong. I don't remember the exact thing. It was some wrong stuff.
So,
and I said,
I don't remember, but it was very important.
That's not what happened. This is what happened because I have read the fucking files.
Soda and beef jerky. That's what you
probably.
Okay, so there it is. So there it is. You believe.
So Epstein was not a pedophile then. He just was a grape soda enthusiast. Yay. Let him fight.
Are you going to take that to court? You think that's evidence of pedophilia? You're going to go and say, hello, FBI, this is the evidence that I have. Grape soda mentioned 1,000 times in pizza?
Yeah,
that's
so you
the evidence
that.
You have?
So you believe
if you're mentioning the same thing over and over again with exact same phrasing, and you know that you're doing something wrong, like fucking children, it starts to sound like coded language, ma'am. Are you an idiot? Because I'm beginning to think you're an idiot.
If you look at your kid's phone, hold on, let me say this. If you look at your kid's phone and your kid is talking about pot and grass,
no, I already know this analogy. I already know this analogy.
What are they talking about, Linda?
Why don't you tell me how the case started?
Are they talking about pot?
I don't really give a shit.
Or are they talking about weed?
I don't really give a shit what they talked about. Did they rape the kids or not?
Yes, kids were raped.
Yes, but there's no evidence. There's no evidence. Like, you know,
defend Epstein. Take it away, guys. Take it away.
Tell me how the case started.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. Given this ultimatum,
you're an expert in the case. Tell me.
Josie, go ahead.
All right. I want to say, so the issue people are having is the word pedophile. I think it's like hebophile or something.
Oh my God, no. No, we are not doing the, actually, it's ebophile. Actually, it's a hebophile. Actually, it's a fucking child. Stop. I am a 34-year-old man. A 15-year-old girl is a goddamn child. I'm sorry. When's the woman? It's not very smart, is it? Not in this group, apparently. But I have never accused conservative women of being smart. They tend to advocate for things that strip their rights away. So, I mean, I don't want to be misogynistic. I don't think that that's a good thing to be. I don't think it's a smart thing to be that. And I don't think evidence bears out that it's a good position to have. But in this situation,
when you're attracted to kids in a certain age, so it's a semantic argument. But I do want to say,
okay, thank you for pointing out it's a semantic argument, because like I look at the so like a 40-year-old guy is lusting after a 14-year-old girl, and another 40-year-old guy is lusting after a 12-year-old girl. Shoot them both.
that even if the age of consent is 15 or 16, wherever it is in the United States, trafficked children cannot consent.
But didn't Pam Bondi herself say 10,000 videos and they were all child porn on Jeffrey? So why are we even
And she said the things that she saw was the most horrendous things that ever exist.
And there has been.
But have you not seen the photos and read the files? There's emails, there's photos, there's video evidence.
Have you seen photos?
Yes. This is not a conspiracy. There's hundreds of thousands of pages. Have you guys not seen it?
Okay, so she's the host of Emily Saves America. Real quick, is she the person here? Hold on. Full debate on Jubilee Media's YouTube. Okay, so please don't tell me she's the same person here. I don't think she's the same person. Is that? No, there's no way. There's no way. Hold on. Dean Withers, Emily Saves America, and... It is her! It is her! It's not just Fox News face! No, that is her! Oh no, we're covering her twice today, guys, and I didn't even know it. I wasn't even aware we were covering her twice today. At least she's on a better position this time than the one that I know we're going to be covering later.
The emails between Jeffrey Epstein and other people saying what they say are horrendous. There's one where a little girl is saying she loves Jesus and Jesus makes her feel safe, and they're making fun of this or.
Look,
okay.
I'm not defending Jeffrey
does
Epstein,
that prove
obviously.
rape and kill
but every
and
time
murder?
someone submits something as a tip or whatever, it's included in the files.
But that's
so
like that's less
there's
than
infinity in the
that's like
files.
But no. So this is emails from Jeffrey Epstein.
And emails and photos, and we've only
that
gotten
have been
10%.
submitted.
We've
Let
only
me just
gotten
say
10%
something.
of the files.
The elephant in the room is we all know what Epstein Island was. It was a Mossad operation because they felt like the left was getting too anti-Semitic.
I don't believe
so
that.
Mossad wanted to catch guys
I
like
don't believe
Clinton
that.
fooling around with teenage girls.
The teenage girls never even went to the island. That's why
But
I say,
it hurt the left,
why doesn't
so I don't
anybody
care.
answer how the case started? I mean, you guys are the Epstein, so tell me how the case started.
Talk about the Florida case.
Yes, the one and only case.
Are you talking about the young girls that called because of the massages in Florida?
Tell me how the case
This conversation
started.
here is why this is an issue. It's because it's not what's... Epstein is a disgusting person.
And there's the anti-Semitism. Let's rewind that anti-Semitism real quick. Let's get back to that.
Talk about the Florida case.
Yes, the one and only case.
Are you talking about the young girls that called because of the massages in Florida?
Tell me how the
This
case
conversation
started.
here is why this is an issue. It's because it's not what's... Epstein is a disgusting person, and you can...
I feel like I undershot.
The teenage girls never even went to the island. That's why
But
I say,
it hurt the left,
why doesn't
so I don't
anybody
care.
answer how the case started? I mean, you guys are the Epstein, so tell me how the case started.
Talk about the Florida case.
Yes, the one and only case.
So the
Tell me how the
Okay, Ravi, which point was the anti-Semitism? I'm confused. Am I missing something?
Talking about the young girls that called because of the massages in Florida?
Tell me how the
This
case
conversation
started.
here is why this is an issue. It's
The glasses guy? Oh, Gavin McGinnis. Yeah, Gavin McGinnis is an anti-Semite. That's like... The island was a Mossad trap? Okay, yeah, no. So, Gavin McGinnis is a piece of shit. He's the guy who founded the Proud Boys. If you're not familiar with Gavin, right here, this is the guy responsible for the Proud Boys. He was also hired by Adult Swim for a while. That was weird, but yeah. Anywho, so I think he is wearing Trump socks. He's 100% wearing Trump socks.
because it's not what's... Epstein is a disgusting person, and you can reclassify or argue about what he did, I don't care. I don't care how he died. The fact is, I think we're all glad he's dead. And I hope more people are held responsible
No.
for what happened.
No, we're not
But
doing
hold
that.
on. We can argue about how he died in a minute.
Yeah, but
let
it
me make my
matters.
point. Let me make my point first.
If he got murdered...
It doesn't matter to my point right now. That's my
Let him
point.
make his point.
My point is, the timing of the Epstein saga is the issue I have with the Epstein saga.
The timing of the Epstein saga is the issue you have with it? Is this going to be one of those things where it's like, you guys only cared about Epstein when it was a useful thing to take down Trump? And that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. Whether it was done recently or 10 years ago, it doesn't matter. Pedophile's a pedophile. He's hysterical. I can't say the next part because then my channel will be deleted and I will be in jail. So, let me go ahead and explain real quick. Every side of the political aisle holds blackmail on the other side. Every side of the political aisle does that. When they are in power, people who have power try to do what they can to maintain power, and holding blackmail over people who they do not like, who could one day gain power from them, is exactly one of the ways that they will do that. The timing does not matter, because the timing would be convenient when you used it against Democrats. If you decided to use it against Democrats, it would be convenient then too. But it wouldn't unfuck the children. It wouldn't unpedophile the politicians. They would still be pedophiles, and they would still have fucked children. So the timing part is a red herring. The timing, all that matters for the timing is the fact that somebody recognized it was a weapon and they thought there was more utility in it as a weapon as opposed to as an actual gear of justice. But now that we're past the point where it's already out, the timing ceased mattering.
I believe when Trump referred to it as a hoax, he wasn't referring to the Epstein saga as a hoax, but the timing of the Epstein saga. Very interesting.
That's the timing can't be a hoax is when something is fabricated. The timing of the Epstein saga is not fabricated, and that is not how language works. He's trying to pretend that it doesn't matter. He's been doing that for months. Fuck off.
And I think this side of the room is going to be happy that I say this. Netanyahu leaves the White House, and the next day, Epstein becomes the biggest issue in the country, and then right after that is Operation Midnight Hammer. I think there's actually a correlation to that. Now, I'm not going down this road yet.
What you just did it.
I know, but because my point is irrelevant to that for a moment. The timing of the Epstein release is the scandal. And the reason why we're all arguing with each other about the details of Epstein is exactly the purpose of the timing of the Epstein scandal.
Because of the reason you just said, or what about the timing?
I think there's a whole lot going on here.
It was used as leverage for Operation Midnight Hammer. That's what you just said.
Bindergate was February of 25. That was 1 month
By the
after
way,
the
that's a
administration
conspiracy.
started.
That's something that you guys fantasize about. That's not
Bindergate
reality.
He just said he's on your side. Yell
That's
at him.
fine. And I disagree with Gavin
I'm on my
McInnes
side.
about
I'm on my side.
the
Wait, so
island
then
being
why
a Mossad thing.
so then why is Ghislaine in jail? She didn't do anything wrong. She didn't traffic anyone. She wasn't. So why is she in jail? Why don't we let her out?
Did you cover the trial like
I think
your friend
Epstein's
House
that
and
guy.
Habit did?
Giselle deserves to be in jail.
You should look into House and Habit's reporting and see what she did, because guess what? She got charged with 1 trafficking count. Where is the mass? You guys are saying that it's all these children that were raped. They wouldn't even admit. The prosecution wouldn't even let Virginia Giuffre, who was the poster child of Epstein, testify against Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. That doesn't mean that there is not a case to be made. Your argument now, ma'am, your argument is, in short, the fact that the United States justice system is oftentimes inadequate to deal with real problems is evidence that the trafficking didn't happen. You cannot square that circle. The ways in which the United States justice system fails to do its job is not an argument in favor or against the events that occurred on Epstein's Island. You're an idiot.
She got charged with 1 count of trafficking to Jeffrey Epstein.
Do you guys think that we're being
Epstein.
told the truth about the nature of his death?
Yes, I believe it.
I think he was killed.
You do?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So does that bother you that is coming from Trump's administration, cash and
Absolutely. But the guy that you just showed with the yarmulke, he was hired by the Department of Justice to go in there and clean up.
Yes.
And his job was to stop weaponization. That was his role. And I think it's a perfect example of our split, by the way. He brought people that had been abused by the Department of Justice. Physically, he brought them into the office to give a face to the story. And he was told again and again, well, we can't do that. And I go, but it's Trump's administration. And he goes, not really. He goes, the DOJ is a holdover from decades ago. Yep. And so he ended up quitting. I assume that's what you were talking about on the podcast. Yes. He ended up quitting because he couldn't make any headway in this swamp, in this sludge. So I know you're mad at him for not draining the swamp, but talk to someone who's been there. It's a fucking nightmare.
Well, I agree, but this is where I guess my fantasies come into play. The reason I fought for Trump was to end that, and I think what makes it so.
He's trying. That's why he's failed for 6 years. He's failed for 6 years, by the way. He's actually made the swamp even more murky. Read Project 2025.
What makes it so bitter is you say, well, he's trying. Okay, well, let's say I believe he's trying. Well, guess what? It's not getting done. But you know whose desires are getting done? The foreign interests and the special interests. Nobody's going to stop them from building the AI surveillance state. Nobody's able to stop them from continuing to go to war in the Middle East.
With China for AI?
We can't drain our own swamp that was weaponized against our own people.
There it is. There it is. Like, why do we need to compete with China for AI? Why is AI so important that we need to compete with China for it in the first place? Why? What is the what do we win in the competition? I'm just curious. What do we win in that competition? What does it mean? Why do we need it? Like, even the United States space race against the USSR was a silly venture when we did it. Why do we care? Why do we give a shit about China? Moreover, like, they own a good chunk of American industry, especially the video game industry. Look at Tencent. Like, 90% of the goods we have come from them. Why are we so worried about them being like a major competitor? Why is that something that anybody should give a shit about? Please explain it to me like I'm 12.
So that's the problem.
I think first of all, it's better to lower the temperature. I think when it comes to Epstein, I think the handling was wrong. I don't think there should have been so much posturing, because then you have to stand on that, right? There can't be, 4 million or 5 million files. You're a month into the administration. Obviously, they're not able to comb through 5 million files in that time. So don't speak about something that you're actively pursuing, because you don't know actually what's in there and what's not in there. And I think and I think it's legitimate, a lot of these conspiracy theories that surround Epstein. And I think the handling was poor. But I think at the same time, Trump was the only president that released 2 million files. Trump was the president that did that. This didn't happen under Joe Biden. This done.
Congressional law. You're going to give him credit for.
No, he released it before.
Never going to get a better swamp training.
There has been so many releases.
We must be better than the Chinese commies, but why?
Released them before, and to address your question about. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Go back and if there's like a
the
little
bill was signed into law before.
We've been releasing year after year after year.
In the post. In terms of your question of like, do I think Epstein was a pedophile? I think he was. I don't think there's this mountain of evidence that backs that up. I think.
Wait, you don't think that the like 30,000 fucking files that we have, the actual Epstein files, the ones that are available for public viewing right now on the internet, everybody can see them. You don't see any of that as evidence. None? Really? Really? How? Please explain that to me. Again, explain it like I'm 12. How is 30,000 emails of evidence with pictures and dates and testimonials and all of that shit, how is that not evidence? You can argue it's weak evidence, but how is it evidence? Also, Rounded Candle, shut the fuck up. Stop with the random anti-Semitic bullshit. You can be anti-Zion and not be anti-fucking Jew. You're being an idiot. Cease.
Personally, he was. And then in terms of him killing herself and
said why? Why? Oh, okay, cool. That's fine. I have a good reason as to why. Because your message is about to disappear. That's why. That's why. Oh, look, they're gone. Baha. Nothing else there. What a goddamn... Yeah, no, I agree, Jessica Davis. What a goddamn loser. Here's the thing. The fact that somebody that you don't like is saying something is not evidence that they are a Jew. Moreover, being a Jew is not a fucking problem. You can be Jewish and it not hurt anybody. It's just a religion. Technically, it's an ethnic religion because of dumb shit, but it is a religion. It doesn't matter. Go after people who are actually doing something wrong. Israel, the state, does things wrong. Israelis, as in people who happen to be Jewish, who happen to be born in the walls of Israel, are not actually the fucking problem.
I disagree. I think he did kill himself. I think Kosh specifically.
Where's the footage?
I think Kosh was specifically someone who was kind of like you before joining the administration. Was like very much, he didn't kill himself. If there was anyone that was like trying to find an answer, and he came out and he said he did kill himself. And so unless you can provide evidence that he didn't
His
kill himself.
cellmate came out this week
that he didn't.
saying that he killed himself.
Not the fucking head of the FBI. Or
So
the deputy
the-
director.
so like, why do we have to prove it and not
wait,
them?
No, you can't. The burden of proof.
It's on them.
No, it's on you,
And that's what he said. But that, I'm saying that's what
The burden
I'm
of proof
saying-
is on the state.
No, you can't prove. You can't prove a negative. Like if he did.
Yes, you can. You can show me the footage from the jail. Why did the cameras die?
You can't, Gavin, no, please, Gavin, don't be a fucking idiot. Gavin, you cannot prove a negative. That is actually sound logic. Negatives can't be proven. That is the point. What? No, stop.
The cameras died at that 1 minute. And it wasn't his
And the security
roommate.
guards fell
His
asleep.
roommate ahead of time. Didn't he die of COVID?
No, his roommate just came out and said
He had
that
two roommates.
his roommate just came out and said that he'd for sure killed himself.
What about the
before that-
autopsy and what his brother said?
He could have said whatever, but House and Habit has been talking to him for years and been posting about it for years, and she got ahead of the New York Post, who's posting it now. And one of the things that he told her, which you guys don't want to hear because you've already convinced himself that it's a Mossad operation, they were raping kids, was that Jeffrey Epstein, while he was in jail, tried to kill himself the first time, lied about the roommate hitting him so that he could be moved to a cell on his own, and that's when he ended up killing himself.
But that wouldn't change how the suicide watch works at all. He still is on suicide watch, so none of that would change. But again, I think we have to get down to basics here. Okay, did Jeffrey Epstein work with Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yes.
Yes.
That was his girlfriend.
Okay, who was
No, that
Maxwell?
was his
Hold on.
girlfriend.
Who
That
was
was his
Maxwell's
girlfriend.
father?
Mossad.
Who was Maxwell's father?
Maxwell.
See, you shrug because you don't want to give the answer because it hurts your stance.
It doesn't hurt my stance at
It
all.
absolutely
Because-
does.
Because what does that
He's
have to do
tied
with
into
the
intelligence
I'm sorry,
agencies
what does
up
that
one
have to
side
do
and
with
down the
case?
other.
But that doesn't prove anything, Owen.
What do you mean that doesn't prove? That's
anything.
circumstantial
That's
evidence.
It's just
Wait,
exactly.
do you know
You
what
just said it. That's
circumstantial evidence? Do you know
circumstantial
what
evidence.
circumstantial evidence means?
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, was a British media proprietor, a member of parliament. Like he's a dude in power. No wonder she got connected.
Here's a guy. That's not even admissible in court.
Here you go. Here's your circumstantial evidence, okay? Here's a guy who's connected to the intelligence agencies up one side and down the other. He's also connected to all of Trump's attorneys, by the way. He got a sweetheart deal on that Florida case.
He didn't
and
get
then
a
he
sweetheart deal.
magically kills himself in
didn't get a
prison
sweetheart
with
deal.
no footage, no security
He was on
guards,
house
with a toilet
arrest.
paper.
He
rope.
didn't get a sweetheart deal.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. He was on house arrest.
Am I able to talk, or are you just going to fucking scream
ahead,
at me
go
the
ahead.
whole
No, I
time?
forgot
Am I
you're
able to
defending
talk?
Epstein. Go
Are you
ahead.
able to tell me how the case started from the very
Go
beginning?
ahead. Yes,
Are you,
girls
tell me.
were recruited to go to his little massage
that's not how it
parlor in
started.
Florida.
You're not able to tell me, right? I'll tell you why. Because Governor DeSantis signed the law, changed the law of our state to please people like you guys. You know what it is to change the law of our state? Because they wanted more stuff to come out? Of course you don't know that, because why would you know that?
You're just
you don't
wrong.
know shit.
Okay.
No, I'm not wrong.
You are, but
Governor
that's right.
DeSantis
You'll find out when
signed a law.
Acosta
Governor
cut the
DeSantis,
deal,
okay, you don't want to
DeSantis
talk to
had
me.
nothing
You
to
want
do with it.
Man, they are struggling. They are struggling. But also, like, just looking at this, why are you going so hard to bat for the pedophile? And, like, whether I'm talking about Jeffrey Epstein or Donald Trump, I mean, realistically, you can figure out which one that is. Why? What do you gain from that?
Talk to me. Governor DeSantis signed a law in 2024 with what? Pull up your phone. Somebody pull up the phone. He signed a law to get all of the documents that were in the Florida court that nobody had seen before, that only the judge is allowed to release. He bypassed the judge, signed a law, released everything from the files. And guess what? Guess what we found out? You know how the case started, Owen? Girls were bragging, the teen girls were bragging at school about the money they were making from an old guy in Palm Beach giving them massages. They get
So, pedophilia is good if money exchanges hands. I wasn't aware that dollar bills scrubbed your sins. That's news to me.
into a fight because one girl calls the other one a prostitute. Her mom finds out, calls the cops, the case starts. The girls are bragging about the money they were making. They weren't in distress. They weren't saying they were raped and abused because...
Right, that's how things began then. What about all of the other women? What about all of the tens of women above those? Ma'am, you're looking awfully female to be okay with rape.
Most of them, when the...
Like, I'm sorry, but this is the thing that bothers me, right? So, like, let's get a couple things out of the way. We live in a rape culture, right? Like, that's an undeniable thing. We live in a culture that makes it easier to make jokes at women's expense in regards to sex. And we tend to downplay things with shit like that, where you're just like, it's like it's okay because you liked it. It's okay because money exchanged hands. Like that's all rape culture. That's what that is. That is exactly what it is. So there are a few categories of person that confuses me, right? The black segregationist. This person confuses the fuck out of me. I do not understand why you would be a segregationist in general, but I most certainly don't understand why you would be one while also being the person who gets hurt by it the most. Like, that feels really dumb and stupid and dumb. So, I'm just curious here. Why is the woman defending rapists? You are the... I mean, granted, she's a little too old for Epstein, so maybe that's the reason why, but I don't get it. Why would you defend this when it perpetuates a culture that does nothing but hurt you? What do you gain from that? Other than, like, more rapists who feel more bold. It just feels dumb.
Cops started their investigation. You know what they said? I don't think Jeffrey did anything wrong. Some of them were getting.
Thank you for the hydrate, Jessica.
Paid for it. These are their own testimony.
I can't. Yeah, okay,
you're mad.
so let me just
so wait, so you're mad at the testimony that I read? You're mad at the testimony. You know what some of the girls said? They got cars, they got travel, they got their college, they got their college paid for, and you don't think these girls know what the fuck they're doing?
I find it funny that you're leaving out the entire years-long investigation.
Enjoy.
Rounded Candle says this woman is like a chicken praying to KFC. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
I will enjoy it.
Enjoy this position.
I'll enjoy
yours.
it.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy it. I made plenty of videos about it. What am I enjoying? The truth? You don't like the fact that I actually read the files? You don't like the fact that I'm quoting? You don't like the fact that
You're talking about the grand jury testimony from Florida.
Right. And you don't like the testimony.
Do you know why they reversed
You don't
that?
like the victim testimonies.
No, but do you know why they reversed that? Because they broke the law. Yeah, they broke the law. They did not tell the deal to the victims that they were giving to Jeffrey Epstein. That's why he was rearrested. There was a years-long investigation into Florida. That's true. They brought the investigation. He was caught trafficking girls.
Man, it's really funny because we could, like, look all of this shit up and figure out who's wrong. In the meantime, let them fight.
Brown at the Miami Herald, a very corrupt institution, which I guess you guys are cool with it now, started to talk to the victims again, started an investigation, and got...
Remember, news organizations are corrupt when they show news I don't like. No evidence, by the way.
Him in New York because they couldn't get him.
So Epstein's wholesome. He's an innocent guy.
I don't think he's wholesome.
No, everything you're saying could be true, and it's also a Mossad spy op.
I don't think he's a Mossad.
Okay. So, what's funny about that? I actually have watched a video that did make a decent case that Epstein was bed buddies with people like Netanyahu. Like, he knew a lot of people in power, and not just people in the United States. I'm just saying, I don't like Gavin making the point because he's an anti-Semite, and I know he's doing it because he wants to throw Jewish question shit out there. But we can admit Israel's doing a genocide, right? Okay, cool. Like, if we can admit that, then we can admit Netanyahu's corrupt. And if we can admit that, then, like, we're already halfway there to having problems with Epstein doing the shit he's doing, you know, in regards to all that. With Netanyahu. Like, we can do that. That's easy.
I've never seen evidence.
Assad would have been the hero in this claim.
Yeah. His girlfriend's dad was just the head of Mossad.
I was going to say, is that the one case where Mossad looks good and then
Mossad's
to argue against
good.
it?
It's okay for you to support it. Mossad looks good.
Mossad caught a bunch of perverts.
Well, I don't believe it's
blackmailed
Mossad. So because I don't believe it's Mossad, they look good.
Mossad organized this whole sex ring in order to bust Bill Clinton.
You made this up. You have no evidence of that.
Huh?
Not just Bill Clinton.
You have no evidence of that, Josie.
Yeah.
Wait, can I just ask a common sense question,
I'm complimenting Israel.
Go ahead.
Well, why are you? See, this is,
I want to
this
do
is,
it too.
This is Israel derangement syndrome. No one.
Huh? Ma'am? Ma'am? I'm gonna need you to talkant.
Is talking about Israel, but she has to bring up Israel.
Epstein
Why are you bringing up Israel?
Epstein has no connections to Israel.
I never said that, Owen. But
so then how is that Israel derangement syndrome?
To be fair, it was Gavin who just mentioned the Mossad operation.
Oh, great. Well,
okay, Gavin, why do you have Israel derangement syndrome?
I would take maybe I don't know, to step back from not us, because I saw so much of that. I had a mental breakdown and literally had to call my mom, and I was like, I am now religious because I believe the fucking devil exists and it's within these people. But I'm like, just common sense. You have this guy, he somehow is connected to every model, politician, everyone around the world. He was kind of a nobody, and now he has like all this money, all this power, and I'm like, you don't get to that place unless you are doing something inherently fucking evil with a large price tag on it.
You're halfway there. You are halfway there. You are so close to the anti-capitalist position. You are so close to it, ma'am. You're almost there. You're so close to the conversation about how you can't actually be an ethical billionaire. You're right there. Just one more brain cell. Just one more.
And it's like, come on, we've seen like the Sound of Freedom and all this shit. This is not a fake thing. Trafficking's like not a fake thing.
It's not,
There's
Emily,
a lot
but
of money for children.
That's not what happened
but to
in this
say
case.
that you think
Wasn't Sound of Freedom panned by people who actually deal with trafficked victims because it Hollywoodized stuff in such a way that would cause people to be emboldened to do things that would actually make their jobs way harder? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain I remember that being a thing.
Okay,
that's not what happened in this case.
Let me finish. To think organically, this guy's timeline did not involve being a pedophile or harming children or any of these is fucking crazy. And
I don't see any evidence of that.
Okay, I'm just confused because I thought I've
I'm
seen
okay
like
with that.
millions of
I'm
pages
okay
of
with that.
photos,
I don't see
videos,
any
and
evidence of
evidence,
that.
but
I've
apparently
seen
it
some of the
doesn't
emails
exist.
you're talking about, and some of the emails are just that.
Just had
So
a
what
very
about Pam
in
Bondi
his
saying
home
that
for no
she has
reason.
the
He wanted
client
to
list
clean
and
it
I'm
up.
just like, this is the only thing I don't understand.
So she just lied?
I think, like he
So
said.
Pam Bondi lied?
Yes, I think a lot of them got ahead. I do think that, and I think she was the wrong choice.
No, but did
I do
Pam
think
Bondi
that.
lie?
Probably.
So she lied.
Probably.
She never saw a client list. She never saw the video.
Probably.
Are you a panicking?
The reason Dan.
Okay, so that was it for all of that. It's really funny watching people I don't like defend pedophiles because that's all that was. It's less funny to watch people who are from InfoWars and are objectively really, really wrong on like 99% of things be on the right side of at least one thing. But that's kind of where we were at in that entire ordeal. Jesus Christ. If you're a right-winger right now, and you still support Donald Trump, I need you to type in my comment section at this exact moment, I support pedophilia. Somebody's going to clip that. But no, you need to do that, because it's the truth. It is the truth that you have at that point. Like, that is what you're at. That is where you're at. It was just pedophilia. It was just pedophilia bad. Okay, but... And the brain damage, Yeah, there's certainly a lot of that going on. Trey says, I support asexuals. I mean, yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly based to do. Pedophilia, on the other hand, less based. Maybe don't. Maybe do not the children. Sienna says, and the brain damage. Alrighty. Alright. Well, we're going to move on to the next thing, but I felt... Did anybody else feel gross watching a bunch of conservative pundits just sit there and, like, wax lyrical about how Epstein might not have been that bad? Like... I don't know. I just feel really gross about that whole thing. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.